Hi guys, Dieke here. Today I want to show you how I work in my new small journal. This is the one I purchased for only 10 euros and some other stuff, of course. Um, Here you see me take a page of old book paper. This is what I'll glue to the page to make a little layer extra. So I'll tear up some of the pieces of book paper. I've pre-gessoed my page, so there's already a layer of gesso on top of the page. And you see me glue the pieces of book paper down with a glue stick, because I didn't buy matte medium. I only had 10 euros, so that's why I took a glue stick. The book pages, the little pieces of paper, I glue them randomly to the two pages. A little faster. And then I'll put some gesso on top. To make the book pages a little less in the foreground. So they will be still there, but just a little bit hidden. And I showed you a cheap set of paintbrushes, only 69 cents. Let's speed up this stuff. And when I'm finished, I'll let it dry just in the air, because oh, you see me take my heat tool, but of course for 10 euros you don't own a heat tool, so that's why you can also leave it to dry on the air. Then I take away the pages I've put behind, and I'll cut up the excess pieces of paper. So this is what you'll get. And I've got a little box of watercolors, also bought at Action, really cheap, like €1.49 or so, maybe 99 cents, I don't know for sure, real cheap. And a bottle of water. Paintbrush was already in the set. And when my gesso is completely dry, I'll spritz the pages with some water, take up the watercolors, and apply them to my page in several different colors. Some blues, some purples. Just randomly apply them on your pages. And because I have used gesso, the pages are able to take the water. Also a little speeding up the process. And you can see I've got a color purple that's also changing to pink. It's a real special color, I don't know. So for only 99 cents, I thought it was 99, you can purchase some nice stuff. You can see the colors are not that bright, but when you put up a little bit more, it's okay. Of course, when you get a more expensive box of watercolors, the colors will be more bright and real. Here you see the purple one I told you about with the pieces of pink inside. It's a really lovely color. Some extra effect. So I've chosen to take blues and purples and pinks. These colors match. They are on one side of the color wheel like neighbor colors. They match nicely together. I'll do something with contrasting colors in a little while. I also love these kinds of colors. And then I'll do some drying, but of course you can also leave it to dry just on the air. That's okay. And here you see me take a stamp set, also an action stamp set, and this mystery box of black ink. I've purchased the ink for 99 cents. The stamp, I use it just loosely without an acrylic block. It doesn't need that, because you only take small pieces of the stamp to work with. It doesn't need to be perfect. It never does. But it gives a little extra layer of interest to your page. Here's my finished background. And you see me take an old credit card and some gesso to also make the page a little more interesting. When you put up some touches of white, it gives just a little bit extra. Now it's quite done for my liking. And you see that the old book pages and the black ink match nicely together. Here you see me take a flower stamp set, also an action stamp set. I like them because they will be easy to cut out and to glue to my page. There's only one slight problem. I don't have an acrylic block for the 10 euros, but I found a solution. I've got some pieces of aquarelle paper, watercolor paper, also Action. And I stamped the flowers onto the watercolor paper. Picking out the right one. And then you see me with my solution. I take the lid of my ink box and use it as an acrylic block, because I didn't buy the blocks. I only had 10 euros, so that's why I had to go for a creative solution. And you can also stamp this way. And you see the ink is okay for these flowers, but I recommend you, when you start with journaling and don't have much to spend, please invest in one good black ink, like archival ink, because it will last a lifetime and it's an investment well worth the money. It really is. This ink is not so good. It doesn't catch the whole stamp, I guess. It's not such a great impression of the stamp. Oh yes, you see me with the color wheel, and what I want to do is take a contrasting color from the purples and blues. So I'll take like yellows and greens to make the flowers pop out of the page. And again, let's take the watercolors with the greens and yellows. And what happens with these inks is that they're kind of runny, this black ink. It's not like a permanent ink, so I was not too happy with this purchase. So I recommend to buy one good black ink. It's really an important investment. In the meantime, I'll be making my flowers green and yellow and orangey to let the flowers pop on my page, because you take a contrasting color. I'll apply the watercolors randomly, just make all kinds of colors and blend them together. You can leave them to dry. That's what I did. And here you can also see quite heavily that the inks are running out. But it gives a nice contrast on my page, so I'll still use the flowers. So I'll always know that it's important to have a good black ink. You see me pick out 3 flowers per page. It seems to be that if you take 3 flowers, it gives a nice look to a nice picture to look at. It's pleasant to the eye to have 3 of images. I took the text stamp with happy and applied it to the page. And you see what happens. It's not such a good impression. So to say, it's a mistake. Well, there's always a solution for a mistake. So I'll take a piece of watercolor paper that was left and put the same text stamp on top of this piece of paper and glue the little text on top of the one that wasn't that great. I didn't like the black spot. So that's how you solve such a problem. I made a little doodly line around the text and glued it to my page. And it says happy. I'm quite happy with this page actually. It's proof of you can really do art journaling for a small amount of money, and it's always easy to purchase some small stuff extra when you've got a little spare money. So here you see me with a gel pen, and I make a black line around the page. These are also for sale at shops like Action, and so this is a more expensive one, I know. So this is the finished page. I like the contrast, I like the text that says happy, I like the background. It's quite nice, I have to say. And I also love this text stamp and this flower stamp. They're quite nice. So you've got 6 flowers for only €1.49. And of course, these watercolors are really, really worth the money. But this black ink, as I told you, please invest in one box of good black ink. Because it didn't say what kind of ink it was. I didn't know. And it was too runny and made not good stamp impressions. So that's something to consider. I've also purchased this box of ink at another shop. This one says what it is. It's dye ink. I'll try it out in a later stage to see what this one does. And of course, the gesso I bought at Action. It's okay. You've got a really big bottle for only $2.96. So this is it. I hope you liked it, and I hope you can see that it is really possible to start journaling with a small amount of money. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.